to the Yukon and the Alaskan Highway. We're really close to the Alaskan Highway. Highway 37 Junction. We're almost at the Alaskan Highway. Welcome to the Yukon. Woohoo! I'm excited. I was just editing videos. I'm excited a lot. I'm really glad to be here. How's that? Are you happy to be here? What do you think? Welcome to the Yukon, puppy. Woohoo! Leaving the Cassiar Highway in British Columbia and hitting the Alaskan Highway. Woohoo! I just passed through tons of evidence of wildfire. I mean, tons. Probably 20 miles of just burnt out several years ago. We're here. Yoo-hoo! All right, we're almost at Watson Lake. Started up all the way up there at Kitwanga Junction. Did this. Didn't do that. That looked interesting, but next time. Brr. It feels like winter. We're in the Yukon! We're in the Yukon! Northern Lights Center. Mysterious, mystical, magical. Got my coffee. Got my good Jackson, Oregon coffee from one of the patrons I met while I was in Oregon. It's hot because the handle broke, but this is my travel mug. But one of the patrons I met while I was in Oregon. This is a gift from Dennis. Thank you, Dennis. It's really good. It is really good. All right, let's go. Now that my work is done, let's go do a little sightseeing. Let's start with SignPost Forest, which is world famous and Watson Lake's best known attraction. And they say it's mimicked all over the world. I'm going to get to the history in a minute and how it started, but let's go check it out. Oh, it also just happens to be where this visitor center is. Cool. No camping or overnight party. However, I'm going to park. No parking. Alright, what's this? Okay. My gosh. I've been there. I guess it's funny to think that all these signs were stolen. Right? Wisconsin, South Dakota, Alabama. Welcome to the world famous Sign Forest here in Watson Lake, Yukon. It's a really cool place. It's got a really interesting history. It was started in 1942 by a homesick U.S. Army GI, Carl Lindley of Danville, Illinois. He was working on the Alaska Highway, and he erected a sign here pointing the way and stating the mileage to his hometown. Others followed his lead and are still doing it to this day. In 1990, Olin and Anita Walker of Bryan, Ohio, placed the 10,000th sign here. Carl Lindley and his wife visited the site in 1992, 50 years after his first post was erected. Today, the town of Watson maintains the site, erecting more posts as they're needed. The SignPost Forest is designated as an official Yukon historic site. Very cool. So let's take a look around. I see Russian. It looks like Russian. Yablechony. Yeah, Yable. I was reading it in Russian and it had the English pronunciation right above it. I still remember the Russian alphabet. That's Yablochkin. Yablochkin, Minnesota. Yes, for those of you who don't know, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this. So at Berkeley, I studied political economy of industrial societies, and my focus was Russia and international relations and political science, but mostly relations between the United States and Russia. So yes, I'm very interested in what's going on in the country and the world right now. But yeah, I had to learn how to speak Russian language. I had to take Russian language. It was part of my major, and I had to pass Russian, and I took 2 years, and all I know how to say is I forgot how to say. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember now. Gavriche по-русски. Gavriche по-русски? Yeah, that's it. Let's look around. Reminds me a little bit of Slab City. Just kind of funkiness, right? Oh my God, American Canyon Road?
This is where you're from?
I'm from kind of everywhere. California.
Oh, that's far away from home?
It is, but I travel full time now. I've been traveling for 2 years in an RV. Yeah.
It's nice and cold up here.
It's beautiful. I love it. You're from here?
Yeah.
You're from Watson Lake?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we're just sitting here just fixing our hangover.
Fixing a hangover?
Yeah, after the long weekend.
Oh, yeah. I actually realized I was here yesterday and it was Victoria Day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had the day off? So a little too much partying?
Yeah.
Well, what was that?
We're going to be done soon.
You're going to be done soon?
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, I hope you feel better.
Yeah, we do feel a lot better. Yeah, by the way, we're Casca and we're switching right here.
I'm sorry?
I said, our Dana, we're Casca. And, she's switching. She's from Old Crow.
She's okay.
So
Yeah.
she's from out of town. It's my mother-in-law.
Oh, really? And I'm sorry, my video camera is on. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're from Old Crow?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a little community, like 300 people.
It's the farthest community in
Yeah,
Yukon,
it's,
up north.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
That's where you're from? So you're here visiting from there?
Yeah, my daughter lives there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How do you get up there?
Plane.
Plane,
Or
it's
boat.
only, yeah,
Oh my gosh.
only plane you could fly in community. There's no road.
Wow.
There's only ice road, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, there was only an ice road?
Well, just when they want it, it's not there year round.
Oh, it's
Whenever we need to build, like they built school there a few years back, and they put that road in for that because that's the only way they brought prefab school.
Oh, right. Other than that, everything is flown in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, wow.
It's expensive there
This
too.
shit from the true north of 60.
What's the one road D, it starts with a D, that goes up to the Arctic?
Dempster Highway.
Yeah. Have you ever driven that?
Yeah.
That's what- I
Well, I
haven't,
never
but
tried, but I rode it. I mean,
I'm thinking about doing that.
It's just-
How bad is it?
it's not too bad, but it's gravel some
I
places.
think you need dog team. before
No,
you-
That sounds like
driving
fun.
by yourself?
I have a dog.
are you driving by yourself?
Yes. I'm with my dog, who's in the RV. But
I think it'll be okay.
I keep hearing that the shale or whatever is really sharp.
Yeah.
And I'm in an RV, and I know how to change a tire. I've never changed a tire on that, and I'm not really looking too forward to.
When you head to Whitehorse, get brand new tires before you hit the road and
Yeah.
say,
Because I think it's just like this gravel.
Yeah. Well, gravel is okay. I drive on a lot of gravel,
Oh.
so gravel is okay.
Hello.
What
Watson Lake.
What was that?
Said from Watson Lake.
From Watson Lake.
Talk to your cat.
2 miles.
So I'm a travel vlogger and I make videos for YouTube.
Oh,
Are you okay with this going on YouTube?
yeah.
It doesn't bug me.
oh my.
It's fun. It'll be a fun story. Okay. So from Watson Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful here. I love it. So I was last night looking for a place to camp, and I'm just curious. Heading toward the 37 Junction, there's a river, and there's a bridge that goes over the river. I don't know what it's called.
Blue River.
So right before, there's a turnoff that goes down by the river there.
You can't take that RV there. Not Blue River.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Campground
There's a
just down there.
Campbell.
Oh, okay.
Campbell House.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of places you can find, but that where you're talking about, you can't go.
Oh, okay. All right. Just thought I'd check it out. All right. Well, nice chatting with you. Thank you for talking.
You guys are you and your puppies always at, I don't know, Alaska.
What was that?
I said, you and your dog always to Alaska.
Well, that's where we're heading. Thank you. You take care too.
Trip.
Thank you. Thank you. You too. Have a safe trip back home.
Watch around for a bear or two.
I've seen a lot of bears.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any moose yet.
Oh,
I want to see some moose or caribou.
They're hiding away from us.
Yeah. I haven't seen bears in a couple 100 miles.
They'll be in our pot right now.
All right. You enjoy your day. Thank you.
Have a safe journey.
Thank you. American Canyon. Okay, this is for you, Kelsey and Dennis. City of American Canyon. Is this my American Canyon? Oh my God. That's really close to home. that this is some of the machinery they used to make the Alaskan Highway. My own sign. Put it on the back of that. I wonder if it would stay. Probably not. It needs metal. Is that metal? Yes! Oh, look at that. I was here. It's official. I'm really excited about that. This is the best road trip ever. This lake just outside of Watson Lake. Can you see that? And I've been hunkered down here waiting to get paid, and I also have to make a phone call today. And this is the first place I've had a cell signal in, I think, days, and I don't know when I'm going to have a cell signal again. So kind of called this home base, I guess, since yesterday. And I'm going to go in. There's a museum. There's a Yukon Alaskan Highway Museum. So I'm going to go visit that today. And there's some great history behind that. So I'm looking forward to visiting that and sharing that experience with you. But yeah, nice place. Let me see. There you go. Nice place to camp. This is, I don't know, maybe 10 miles outside of Watson Lake. What's up, puppy? Oh, it's the GoPro. You always think. And I had scouted a couple places on the way in yesterday that were further away, and I saw this heading out last night. And it's just a little lake and a little dirt road past the lake with a sign to the lake. And I came out, and not a single car came out here last night. It was quiet. I mean, I can hear the Alaskan highway traffic a little bit. But yeah, really nice place. This is what I love about this road trip. I mean, pretty much ever since I left, like, the greater Vancouver area, and we're talking maybe a couple hundred miles, I can pretty much pull over and camp almost anywhere. And boy, it's kind of the ultimate in freedom and the ultimate in an amazing road trip. And like I said in another video, just like how I've always wanted to travel, you know, there's been times that I've wished I could go back in a time machine and travel through the U.S. in the 40s, 50s, maybe even the 60s, before everything got so built up and privatized. And I always dreamed of just being able to do this, just being able to drive and pull over and camp wherever. And boy, let me see. There you go. Another wonderful camping spot. All right, going into town, take care of business, and then we're gonna head toward Whitehorse probably today. See you in town at the museum. The Alaska Highway, also known as the Alaskan Highway, Alaska-Canadian Highway, or the AlCAN Highway, was constructed during World War II for the purpose of connecting the contiguous United States to Alaska across Canada. It begins at the junction of several Canadian highways in Dawson Creek, British Columbia, and runs to Delta Junction, Alaska, via Whitehorse, Yukon. Completed in 1942, at a length of about 1,700 miles or 2,700 kilometers. As of 2012, it's down to 1,387 miles or 2,232 miles long. Kilometers. The difference in distance is due to the constant reconstruction of the highway, which has rerouted and straightened out numerous sections. The highway was opened to the public in 1948. Legendary over many decades for being a rough, challenging drive, the highway is now paved over its entire length. Well, that's not completely true. Some of it is gravel, but that's because they're under construction. Proposals for a highway to Alaska originated in the 1920s. Thomas McDonald, director of the U.S. Bureau of Public Roads, dreamed of an international highway spanning the United States and Canada. Slim Williams, a promoter of the Alaska Highway in the 1930s, who had moved to Alaska in 1900 at the age of 18, originally traveled the proposed route by dog sled. Since much of the route would pass through Canada, support from the Canadian government was crucial. However, the Canadian government perceived no value in putting up the required funds to build the road, since the only part of Canada that would benefit was not more than a few thousand people in Yukon. The 1,700-mile route to Alaska was completed in just over 7 months, starting on March 8, 1942. Construction accelerated through the spring as the winter weather faded away and crews were able to work from both the northern and southern ends. They were spurred on after reports of the Japanese invasion of Kiska Island and Attu Island in the Aleutians. During construction, the road was nicknamed the Oil Can Highway by the work crews due to the large number of discarded oil cans and fuel drums that marked the road's progress. On September 24, 1942, crews from both directions met at mile 588 at what became named Contact Creek at the British Columbia-Yukon border at the 60th parallel. The entire route was completed on October 28, 1942, with the northern link up at mile 1202 Beaver Creek, and the highway was dedicated on November 20th, 1942 at Soldiers Summit. The road was originally built mostly by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers as a supply route in World War II. In 1942, the Army Corps of Engineers assigned more than 10,000 men. About a third of those men were black soldiers, members of 3 newly formed Negro regiments. The Army commandeered equipment of all kinds, including local riverboats, railway locomotives, and housing originally meant for use in Southern California. The original agreement between Canada and the United States regarding construction of the highway stipulated that its Canadian portion be turned over to Canada 6 months after the end of the war, and this took place on April 1st, 1946, when the U.S. Army transferred control of the road through Yukon and British Columbia to the Canadian Army Northwest Highway System. The Alaskan section was completely paved during the 60s, and the lower 50 miles of the Canadian portion were paved in 1959. By the 1980s, the entire road was paved. However, over the years, rerouting and reconstruction of many portions of the Alaskan Highway have been undergone in order to make it straighter, not as hilly, to make it easier to drive. So while most of it has been paved at one point or another, there is always ongoing construction on the Alaska Highway. Okay, I'm armed with all kinds of pamphlets, walking tours, all kinds of information from the visitor center. I don't normally visit visitor centers. I don't know why. I just fly by them. But that was actually pretty good. They had weather reports in there, they had road conditions, and it's windy and you're not gonna be able to hear me. So I'm gonna stop and just head back to the RV and hit the road, take Capone for a walk.